Hello everyone, I be Sandhya Rani, lecturer in chemistry, Government Degree College, Mohbad. Today we are going to discuss about the topic chromatography. Chromatography, it is a Greek word. The word chromatography is derived from two Greek words, that is chroma means color and graphene to write. So, chromatography is the collective term for a family of laboratory techniques for the separation of mixture. And also said that it is a chromatography is an analytical technique widely used for the separation and purification of organic and inorganic compounds. Other side, we can say that the separation techniques for various substances accordingly to their relative substitutes or solubilities in two immersible phases is called chromatography. Chromatography was derived by Michael Sweet, who for the first time separated the chromophiles and ether plant pigments and ether plant pigments by chromatography. Then we can say chromato- chromatography, literally color writing, was used and named in the first decade of the 20th century, primarily for the separation of plant pigments such as chlorophyll, xanthophyll, like that. New forms of chromatography is useful for a wide range of separation process and chemical analysis tasks, especially in biochemistry. Chromatography is a misnomer since it is no longer limited to the separation of the colored substances. Then, what is the purpose of chromatography? What is the principle is involved in this chromatography? First one is the analytically we can determine the chemical composition of a sample. What are they present in that compound? The separation of compounds of a mixture is based on their difference in distribution coefficient or relative solubilities. Then the two phases are present in chromatography. One is the stationary phase and another one is the mobile phase. So second purpose is to preparatively use to purify the sufficient quantities of a substance. Here we shown a figure. In that test tube there is a mixture of all pigments. So we can easily separated by chromatography which with each other. Here the layers are showing a different colors. So first one, solvent wetting front, then carotene pigment, second layer, third one is the xanthophyll pigment, and fourth layer is the greenish, that is the chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B, and the last one is the original concentrated spot of a plant pigment. Like that we put a pigment in the bottom of the test tube, that is column, and put an mobile phase, that is ether. We can easily separate it by the with each other pigments. So this is the principle involved. The purpose is of chromatography. Then chromatography principle. Chromatography is based on the principle of the partition of the solute between two phases or solvents. Chromatography usually consists of a mobile phase and a stationary phase. The first one is the mobile phase, is usually refers to the mixture of the substances to be separated, dissolved in a liquid or a gas. The second one is the stationary phase. It is denoted as a porous solid matrix through which the sample contained in the mobile phase percolates. The interaction between the mobile and the stationary phases results in the separation of the compounds from the mixture. The third one is that these interactions include the psychochemical, physicochemical principles such as the adsorption, ion exchange, molecular swing, and affinity between these compounds. And also, these two layers are in contact with each other, and the mobile phase are move through the stationary phase causes the different migration of the sample compounds. The stationary phase can be a solid or liquid, and the mobile phase can be liquid or gas. Then, terminology of chromatography. What are the terms we are used in this chromatography technique? First one is the chromatograph, the equipment that enables a sophisticated separation. For example, gas chromatography or liquid chromatography. Then second one is the elutent, fluid entering column or solvent that carries the analyte, that is called as the elutent. Then third is the eluate, mobile phase leaving the column is called eluate. Then stationary phase, immobilized phase are called as the stationary phase. Then immobilized on the support, particles are on the inner walls of the column tubing. Example, silica layer, that is a thin layer chromatography. Then we can see the mobile phase. Moves in a definite direction, liquid or gas, is called a mobile phase. Maybe either liquid or gas. The mobile phase moves through the chromatography column, that is a stationary phase, where the sample interacts with the stationary phase and is separated. Then another one is a retention time, that is RF value. It is also called as RF value. Time takes for a particular analyte to pass through the system from the column or inlet to the detector under set conditions is called a retention time. And what is the sample? We are analyzing the sample. The substance analyzed in a chromatography is called as a sample. And another one is a solvent. Any substance capable of solubilizing another substance is called as the solvent. Then chromatogram. It is a visual output of the chromatograph, and it is used to separation different peaks or patterns on the chromatogram correspond to different components of the separated mixture. Then we will go for the classification of chromatography. Here the classification chromatography is based on the interaction between the sample and other stationary phase and mobile phase. There are two ways to classify the methodology of chromatography. The first one is the Based on interactions between the sample component and stationary phase, there are six types of chromatographies is there. One is partition chromatography, then second one is adsorption chromatography, third one ion exchange chromatography, fourth one gel filtration, and fifth one is affinity chromatography, and last and very important and advanced technology is high performance liquid chromatography. This is based on the interaction between the sample component and the stationary phase. Then another one is the classification is another one is based on nature of stationary phase or mobile phase. It is of two types. One is planar, it may be paper or thin layer chromatography. Then second one is column, it may be gas or liquid. So in planar chromatography is a separation technique in which the stationary phase is present as or on a plane. So it may be a thin layer paper chromatography. Then column chromatography is a separation technique in which the stationary bed is within a tube. So based on the stationary phase or mobile phase is classified into two types, that is planar and column. Then go for the partition chromatography. It is used for the separation of mixtures of amino acids and peptides. The molecules of a mixture get partitioned between the stationary and the mobile phase depending on the relative affinity of each one of the phases. And it is undertaken in two ways. One is the paper chromatography, and the second one is the thin layer chromatography, that is TLC, popularly known as the TLC. Then paper chromatography. It is an analytical technique for the separation of identifying mixtures that are either colored or can be made colored. It is a liquid partition chromatography used for a separation of amino acids, sugars, sugar derivatives, and peptides. Then paper chromatography. In paper chromatography contains two. One is the stationary phase, second one is the mobile phase. First one, the stationary phase, is a water held on a solid support of a filter paper, usually used as a cellulose paper is used in that. The second one is the mobile phase, is a mixture of immiscible solvents, which are mixture of water, a non-polar solvent, and an acid or base. We are used as a mobile phase. For example, butanol, acetic acid, water, or phenol, water, and ammonia. Like that, we are using the liquids as a solvents in mobile phase, used as a mobile phase. Then what is the importance of these techniques, chromatography techniques? The number of components in a sample we can know. The identification of compounds, we have identified that in a mixture. The relative quantities of the compounds in a sample, we can know. We can know this quantitatively separated each component from that mixture. Then we will discuss about today the paper chromatography. Paper chromatography is a liquid partition chromatography and is the simplest of the most widely used technique. In this, a small spot of a sample is applied to a strip of chromatography paper about 2 centimeters away from the base of the plate. This sample is absorbed on the paper and may form interaction with it. So, in this technique, the stationary phase is a liquid, that is water, and the mobile phase is also a liquid, that is organic solvent. Hence, the paper chromatography is a liquid partition chromatography. In paper chromatography, the Whatman filter paper acts as a support to the stationary liquid phase. The mixture to be separated undergo partition or distribution between the two liquid phases, where different compounds of the mixture will have a different values of partition coefficient. So the paper is then dipped into a suitable solvent such as ethanol or water, taking care that the spot is above the surface of the solvent and placed in a sealed container. And the solvent moves up the paper by capillary action and dissolves the sample mixture, which will then travel up the paper with the solvent solute sample. The paper chromatography procedure, here we show in a figure different compounds in the sample mixture travel at different rates due to the differences in solubility in the solvent and due to the differences in their attraction to the fibers in the paper. Here, one paper is dipped in a test tube and put a lid, and solvent is taken as, and pigments are traveled in their different ways to their solubility product. Here in front paper, different solvents, front paper is dipped in a solvent. The paper chromatography takes anywhere from several minutes to several hours. And it is also two types is there. One is ascending and descending paper chromatography. Ascending chromatography. In this ascending paper chromatography, the mobile phase is placed in a container or jar at the bottom of the chamber. The mobile phase, that is solvent, moves against the gravitational force in an upward direction on the chromatographic paper. The rate of flow of mobile phase is slow, hence it takes more time. So, in ascending, in this method, the solvent is in a pool at the bottom of the vessel or jar in which the paper is supported. It rises up the paper by capillary action against the force of gravity. Then second one is the descending order chromatography. In this method, the mobile phase is solvent and descending down on the chromatography paper with the gravitational force is called the descending paper chromatography. In this method, the mobile phase, that is solvent, is taken in a trough or a container, glass container. The paper with the sample spot lies having down. The rate of flow of mobile phase is the fast and takes less time. So, when it comes to the ascending order, it takes more time, but we're coming because the movement is against the gravitational force. Here, descending chromatography, in this method, the solvent is kept in a trough at the top of the chamber and is allowed to flow down the paper. The liquid moves down by capillary action as well as by the gravitational force. That's why it takes less time. So, substances that cannot be separated by ascending method can be separated by the above ascending method. Then analysis of paper chromatography. After development, the spots corresponding to different compounds may be located by their color, ultraviolet light, ninhydrin, or by treatment with iodine vapors. The paper remaining after the experiment is known as the chromatogram. So, before that, the components which have been separated differ in their retention factor, that is, the ratio of distance traveled from this spot or origin by the solute component to that of the distance traveled from the spot or origin by the solvent. So, from analysis, we can develop the chromatogram. Here we see the RF value. RF, that is the retardation factor, that is called as the RF value. RF value is defined as the distance traveled by the sample by distance traveled by the solvent. So, if RF value of a solution is 0, the solute remains in the stationary phase and thus it is immobile. If RF value is 1, then the solute has no affinity for the stationary phase and travels with the solvent front. So, retention factor can never be greater than 1. Here, another one is a two-dimensional chromatography. Sometimes it is difficult to separate a complex mixture of substances by a single run with one solvent system. In such a case, a second run is carried out by the different solvent system in a direction perpendicular to the first run. This is referred to as a two-dimensional chromatography, which enhance the separation of mixture into individual components. Here we in a picture 1a, one solvent is used in a paper, in corner a drop of mixture is put to that, and the some hours later it will be differentiated with their retardation factor values, turns paper into 90 degrees clockwise and use a different solvent in figure C. Here the some hours later we can easily different with each other. So it is a two-dimensional chromatography. We can separate from this technique easily individual components from the mixture. This is another technique of paper chromatography, that is a two-dimensional chromatography. Then we go for the significance of paper chromatography. Paper chromatography is a very easy, simple and rapid and highly efficient method of separation. It is widely used in quantitative analysis of organic and inorganic substances of biochemical origin. It can be applied even in microgram quantities of the sample. It can be also used for the separation of wide variety of materials like amino acids, oligopeptides, sugars, oligosaccharides, glycosides, purines and pyrimidines, steroids, vitamins, and some alkaloids like penicillin, tetracycline, and streptomycin also we can separate it easily. And it is a simple and can be used for the separation of amino acids and sugars also we have discussed. It is also very cheap, can be conducted under the minimum temperature and optimum conditions. And it is not preferred for separating proteins because they are not soluble in many of the solvent systems and are also denatured by the system. So it is not preferred to separate the proteins because it loses their nature. And last one is the paper chromatography is inferior to thin layer chromatography in resolving power. With these remarks, we conclude our lecture, today's lecture. Thank you.